Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Pastor Wiley Drake again. We are still running some tests. I want to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that we'll be live again at 5 o'clock here in California. And we want to remind you that if you'd like to be on the show, you're welcome to be on the show with us. You can come on, be on. You can come on and share your thoughts. We'll give you some numbers right now that if you'd like to be on the show, you can be. And we would encourage you to come on the show. Now, here's what we'd like for you to do. We'd like for you to contact us. You can reach us at 1-800-839-3002, 1-800-839-3002. That's our 800 number. You can also call us here on my personal cell phone number, 714-865-8132, or you can call us on our Washington, D.C. line. Our Washington, D.C. line is 202-747-4839. We would encourage you to be a part of what we call CPC TV / if you will, The Wiley Drake Show. Now, the website is thewileydrakeshow.com, thewileydrakeshow.com. But the overall show is CPC TV, The Wiley Drake Show. And that's somebody calling right now. Let's see who that is on the line. But they gave up. They decided they didn't want to talk, maybe. Maybe they knew we were on the air. I don't know. But anyway, if they call back, I'll be glad to take their call. You can reach us on that number, or you can reach us on other various numbers if you'd like to. May God bless you. May God give you a great, great day. And I'm going to go off the air for right now and just run a little test here. Before I do, I want to give you a test. I want to tell you this. The website for the Congressional Prayer Conference of Washington, D.C. is simply this: Congressional Prayer Conference of Washington, D.C.org. Congressional Prayer Conference of Washington, D.C.org. As a part of that Congressional Prayer Conference, we have a thing that we call telephonic prayer meeting. That telephonic prayer meeting is held every day at 8 a.m. on Capitol Hill. At 9:15 every day on that prayer line, we pray for each state, and we ask people to come online and call out the names of their senators, first and last name, from their own personal state. We would encourage you to do that. If you'd like to call the telephonic prayer meeting line, ladies and gentlemen, that prayer line is 712-432-1690. 712-432-1690. And you can go to that number anytime after 8 o'clock. That prayer line is open at 8 a.m. every day on Capitol Hill. 8 a.m. Washington, D.C. time. You can call us on that number, 712-432-1690. Now, if you call that number, it will ask you for an access code. That access code is 399-430#. 399-430#. And so we would encourage you to join us between 5 and 7 a.m. Washington, D.C. time. For the first hour, when we go on there, I'm sorry, it's at 8 o'clock is when we start. I keep forgetting the time zone and time changes. But at 8 o'clock, from 8 o'clock till 9 o'clock, we do open conversational prayer where we encourage you to pray. We also pray during that time for the executive branch of our government. We also pray for the judicial branch of our government. In fact, we list the president's name and the vice president's name, of course. Then we list each of the Supreme Court justices. And we want you to know, we want you to pray for them by name. And we also lastly mention the Chief Justice, John Roberts. Now, after we finish that, then at 9:15, at 9:15 every day on the Hill, at 9:15 a.m., we pray for each state by the name of the state, alphabetically. And we ask you or someone to list the name of the senators, first and last name. When they call out California, I chime in and say Barbara Boxer and Diane Feinstein. And so we would encourage you to do the same thing. And that goes on up until about 9:30. Let me get this call. It says blocked call. Good afternoon, blocked. How are you? Guess they didn't want to talk. Well, anyway, at 9:30 on the Hill, at 9, let's see, is that not right? 7, we start at 8 o'clock. I'm sorry. I'm confusing myself as well as you. Every day at 8 a.m., 8 a.m. is when we start the Congressional Prayer Conference telephonic prayer meeting. We started here in California at 5. That means it's 8 in Washington. And so we would encourage you. The first hour we do conversational prayers. And then, of course, we do pray for the judicial branch by judge name. And then at 9:15 in the morning, that's when we mention the states alphabetically and ask you to chime in with your senator's first and last name. And then at 9:30, we spend the next half hour praying for our nation. And we pray the perfect prayer. The reason I say it's perfect is because we pray 5 Psalms and 1 proverb. We get our kickoff point by multiplying 5 times the date. Today, for example, we multiplied 5 times 20. That began us in Psalms 100, and we read down through Psalm 104. And then we go over to the Proverbs, and there we also use the date. Today was the 20th, so we read Proverbs 20. So in 30 days, we will pray a perfect prayer through all 150 Psalms and all 31 of the Proverbs. And we encourage you to join us. I apologize for confusing and mixing you up time zone wise and so forth, but let me remind you that the prayer meeting starts at 8 a.m. Washington, D.C. time, and it goes for 2 hours from 8 until 10. And we would encourage you to join us anytime, any part of it, whatever you'd like to do. If you'd like to join us, the phone number to join us on is 712-432-1690. Put in your access code 399-430#, and you indeed will be with us on the prayer line. What we call telephonic prayer meeting. Telephonic in that it's on the telephone. Prayer, that's what we do. Meeting, we also meet and we talk about the executive branch, we talk about the judicial branch, and we talk about the legislative branch and pray for each of them, as well as any prayer requests that you would like to share at that time. We share personal requests, and we'd be more than happy to take them from you. In the meantime, continue to listen to the Wiley Drake Show here on CPC.TV, the Wiley Drake Show.